course, we bring in, of course, Mike Veloz. He is the brains, the corner man, of course, the trainer of the undefeated lad. I'm talking about Demetrius Andrade out of Providence, Rhode Island, of course, coming off that 12-round shutout win last week. But let me tell you about his last 5 opponents. I was looking at Andrade's record this morning, and his last 5 opponents entering the ring, there were 109 wins and 4 losses, straight up. 2 guys had lost 1 fight. 1 guy lost 2 fights. The other 2 guys were undefeated. Bottom line is he is fighting the best out there, and he wants to fight Canelo Alvarez. Obviously, that's what he's talking about, Canelo or Triple G. Now, Mike Veloz, welcome to Ring Talk Live Worldwide.
How you doing there, guys?
I'm doing just fine, man. Talk to me now. Where do you want to go in September? Are you going to fight September, November? Do you know where you're going yet?
I mean, we would love to have that phone call from Canelo's people, but we'll see what happens. I wouldn't mind fighting in September if we fight against him.
Okay, but you be ready to go right away? I mean, no punishment in last week's fight, was it?
Oh, definitely. He's more than ready. If we get another fight in between, I don't think Canelo wants to see us. He'll be too sharp.
Okay.
By then.
How could it be? When you knock a guy down in the first round and he fights cautiously and fights safety first for the next 11 and a half rounds, that puts your guy in a bit of a hole. You know that? I mean, I was looking at him and he was trying to go for it, but Mr. Selecki just says, you know what, I'm going to go home proud guy. I'm going to last the distance here.
Right. Well, we knew Selecki was a warrior, and he's not one of the low average fighters like a Steve Rhodes. Not knocking Steve Rhodes, but we already knew what Steve Rhodes came in to do when he fought Triple G. Selecki's a top 15, top 10 guy, and he knows how to survive. He knows how to fight. Point blank, period. The man knows how to fight. So he stood away from our power and was very cautious towards when he felt it.
Mr. Veloz, is Triple G an old man?
In boxing?
Yeah.
I'd say so. 37 years old? Unless you're really getting paid. I wouldn't want to be that old trying to take punishment.
300 amateur fights.
Right.
Man, you and I know that. Man, that's, the amateurs are tougher than the pros a lot of the times. I mean, especially in the early goings.
Yes, sir. You think of it. He's seen everything 4 times. And what I mean by everything, I mean every different style you could throw at him. Tall, short, skinny, long, lengthy, slick, bullheaded. He's seen it. Just like Demetrius Andrade.
Okay. Mike Veloz is our guest, folks, the trainer of Demetrius Andrade, the undefeated WBO 160-pound champion, of course, coming off that win last week over Mr. Selecki. Selecki came to fight, but once he found out he was overmatched, he said, no, I don't think I'm going to want to get too aggressive here, too assertive here, and he went the 12-round route. Now, I talked about your guy's record being 109, the guys he's fought 109-4 in his last 5 fights. Isn't that making a statement itself?
I would hope so and think so, but the way this boxing industry is going, like they're thinking that we haven't fought anybody. I mean, Arthur Kakwadakwa, I finally say his last name right.
Yeah. I
mean, he's a top contender to anybody in this division.
19-2 coming in. I'm glad you tried that name because Akavov. How about that one, Akavov?
Arthur Akavov. Yeah, I actually asked him how to pronounce his name properly because I don't like butchering people's names.
I know, but sometimes it's just absolute. I mean, you want to look at his record. Your guy's record's got. How about this dude, Cantunak? I mean, holy cow! I mean, that dude had a hard name to spell. Cantun Dokwa. How can you pronounce that, Mr. Veloz?
Arthur Kakwadakwa.
We're playing name games with the trainer, of course, of Demetrius Andrade. Andrade says you are now the brains. You are the guy that he looks to initially in the corner and in his training now. Does that give you an added sense of confidence in your relationship with the fighter?
It does. It's always been there, but I'm just that behind the scenes kind of character and personality. So I really don't put myself out there. Like we all know, his father taught him everything in boxing. You don't teach a caliber fighter Demetrius Andrade anything new. You just show him how to maintain, make sure he's 100% ready to fight, and after that, it is what it is.
Okay, so Canelo's going to fight September. Maybe the phone call's going to come. Probably not. I think you guys are in 2020, somewhere around there. But Triple G, I think you guys in Triple G are sort of looking solid for November, a big solid card on the zone. What does Triple G bring to the dance at this point in time?
At this point in time, he's a name. He still has his power, but with Demetrius Andrade's length, ring generalship, skill, and IQ, I think we have exactly everything we need to take him out, place him that day if we have to. Who knows? I don't see Triple G beating us, but you never know in boxing.
37 years old, 39 pro fights. Of course, a winner over Steve Rolls. He rolled over Rolls in that last fight. Is Rolls world class?
I don't think so.
Okay.
He's there. Okay. He's there. He's not world class yet. That was his kind of crazy top quiz he had with Triple G, but I think he needed a couple more fights before he hit that world class stage. Elite fighters.
So Rolls takes a fight for, we'll say, $100,000, and then he mars his record. He's 19-1 now. Do you come back from a beating like that?
Yeah, you do.
Psychologically?
Look who you lost to. Psychologically, you need time. I would give him another year, just recoup, reevaluate yourself, and really get everything in order. But you can come back from that. You lost to a former world champion and was considered the boogeyman at 160.
Okay. Outside of Boo Boo Andrade, who do you handle?
Outside of Anthony Concepcion, he's my 4-0, 4 knockout prospect that I got. He's a word.
Okay.
He's a junior middleweight.
Junior middleweight, 154. Tell me about his amateur background.
His amateur background, honestly, he's had about 10 fights total.
Ooh.
But you know how that goes. Some amateur fighters ain't better pro. His style was built for the pros.
I'm laughing because my style definitely went to the pros. I hit guys to the body, and the judges wouldn't give you nothing.
Right.
Nothing, man. I mean, body shots stuff. It was sad. Some of that amateur scoring, and now, of course, is amateur scoring on the up and up now with this volume punching? I mean, do you think that's right that they should just?
I think it's at the if anything, it's at the same. Like you really have to fully dominate another opponent for you to get a point, especially if you're in that opponent's hometown. You might not get the decision. You really got to put a beating on the kid. And that's somewhat sad because all these young kids are coming into the game. By the time they're ready to turn pro, some of them are already shot.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, I know. I've seen guys get shot in the gym. In other words, guys get beat up in the gym, and here's what's up, Mike. I tried to tell some guy, and he ended up turning pro, so I won't mention his name in this. But one of his eyes was cockeyed. In other words, we were boxing one time at Newman's Gym in San Francisco, and I remember looking at him after a sparring session, not with me, but with somebody else, and his eye was looking off in the other direction, like a Richard Pryor joke or something like that. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But that's you're laughing, but you and I know that's a sign of neurological damage.
Right.
I mean, and that was he was just a gym fighter. Anyway, bottom line is, how did you get into boxing?
My father, at an early age, he went to the Golden Gloves in New York, did his thing. Also, then after that, went to Indiana, joined the Job Corps, and ended up being trained by Sal Johnson, the Olympic trainer of. I think it was Sugar Ray Leonard.
Sugar Ray, exactly. Yeah. 1976 Olympic team.
Right.
The Job Corps brought us George Foreman. That's how I met George Foreman. I didn't meet him, but back in 1967, we were sitting in the stands at Newman's Gym, and this guy, this big old dude, was beating people up, man, beating up professional heavyweights. My father said to me, that kid can punch. I said, you think so, Dad? I didn't know but nothing much. I was like 9, 10 years old. And then, of course, George Foreman won the gold medal.
Your father was not wrong.
Yeah, he knew a little bit about boxing. He couldn't take a punch, though. He looked good training, man, but he had a glass jaw. And you know what that means, right? That means you can look pretty until you get hit.
Right.
And my old man got hit, and he just fell apart, man. Sorry, but may he rest in peace. Anyway, so have you got... Outside of Canelo and Triple G, is there that's plan A or plan B? Is there a plan C for Andrade?
At the current moment, we're talking about it, but we don't mind taking a little we'll wait a little bit if we have to, but we're hoping either Triple G or Canelo step up, and we'll see how that goes. If not, possibly a Chavo run, but that's like really far plan C. If it happens, it happens. I mean, the world's going to happen for that fight too. But
154 and 160-pound champion of the WBO, of course, I'm talking about Demetrius Andrade, and his fabulous trainers have been on the line. Are you from Providence as well?
Yes, I am.
So you remember the Vinny Paz days or what?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
He shut down the city.
That was some
wild.
I
was a kid, and I remember him shutting down the city when he fought.
That was some wild. I mean, Providence came to a halt. I mean, there was nobody on the street. It was like a nuclear bomb went off downtown and everybody died.
Right. Like the old-fashioned worldwide sports days. Like every Saturday there was a fight. Nobody was either at the bar or at home.
Okay, the Prudential Center was filled last week for Andrade. You can bring him back there and draw well at home.
The energy in that place was electric. It was just beautiful. I still say thank you to the entire city of Providence for coming out. Okay. The entire state of Rhode Island and New England, for that matter.
Okay. As far as the heavy, Mike Veloz, trainer extraordinaire, is our guest. Of course, the trainer of Demetrius Andrade, the unbeaten WBO 160-pound guy. This heavyweight situation right now, first of all, the Andy Ruiz shocking. The fact that Andy Ruiz knocked out Anthony Joshua, I think that if Anthony Ruiz didn't look fat and sort of appear to be out of shape, people wouldn't have been so shocked. But the fact that he looked the way he did and he beat Joshua down is a major statement. Does Joshua ever come back from that? You know what, Mike? Mike, phone line's getting rough. Mike, we will look forward to talking to you in the near future. Say hello to Demetrius for me. Congratulations on the win, and God bless, okay?
God bless you guys. Thanks for having me.
Right on, Mike Veloz. The up and down of those cell phones, man. Cell phones are still horror in the world of talk radio. No doubt about that. You are tuned to the Mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Of course, we're talking boxing and mixed martial arts.